Hello and welcome to Vegas Aces live stream. My name is Heather Ferris, and today we are going to be talking about the 5 ways you could teach your kids math using gambling concepts. Now, before we get started, I just want to remind you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you're always notified of our latest videos and live streams. If you are brand new to the channel, we cover all things table games, whether that's playing table games, dealing table games, or doing in-depth analysis on concepts related to table games. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. Also, too, if you have any questions, please ask them, put them in the comments, and I will answer them and talk with you guys at the end of the video. So again, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments or the chats. Also, too, I have a question for you guys, so put your answer in the chat. Do you have any different ways that we didn't talk about in this video that you use to teach your kids math, especially now with what's going on? Let us know in the comments so that way, again, at the end of the video, we could share with everyone. Sweet. Thank you very much for the super chat, Joey. Really do appreciate it. Super sticker. That's so awesome. Thank you guys very much for the super chat. Really do appreciate that. Now, let's get started. Let's do this thing. The first thing you will need is a deck of cards. So for the first 3 concepts that we talk about, we will be using a deck of cards. If you don't have a deck of cards, you could go in the description. We have a link where you could buy these exact cards on Amazon. So pretty cheap, pretty easy. That way you guys could get it fast. Also, too, like I was saying, because of what's going on right now with COVID-19 and how everyone is having to homeschool their kids, we thought it would be fun to be able to still teach them math concepts, but using gambling, using gambling concepts as a way to teach them. That way it's interesting for us just as much as it's interesting for them. So let's get started. Let's start off with number 1. Now, number 1, this is, I'm going to be breaking them up into different levels. So every number is going to be a different level. So our first one is preschool. And with preschool, what you're going to be teaching your kids on the preschool level is you're going to be teaching them how to recognize numbers. And that's why playing cards are wonderful for this. They're sort of like flashcards in a way. And you could teach your kids numbers, especially with the pips on here. This is very, very helpful when teaching your kids numbers. So again, what you do is you take a deck of cards, you take all of the kings, jacks, queens, aces, take anything out that might be confusing to the child, just have 2 through 10 on there, and then actually, use it and count out the number of pips, and that way they can recognize the numbers and get used to the order and everything. So when you set this up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that way it's easier for your preschooler to help recognize their numbers. So our second one, number 2, this is a secondary level. So this is elementary school. And with elementary school, again, you will be using a deck of cards, 2 through 10 only. So take out the jacks, queens, kings, aces, that type of a thing. And for the elementary school level, we are going to be teaching kids addition and subtraction. And again, cards are fantastic for teaching kids addition and subtraction. So if they have any troubles, they can use the pips and they can count either on their hands, depending on how old they are, or in their head. And they could do addition or subtraction by using these cards. So it's pretty much the same thing as how dealers learn how to count. I kid you not. So a lot of people don't know how because they don't use it on a daily basis. So one of the things we teach dealers is card counting drills. Go ahead, check that video out and everything. It's one of my earlier videos. But you basically take the card, put it down. Okay, we got a 3. Take the card, put it down. We got an 8. That's 11. And you're using the pips and the numbers to either add or subtract. So those are the very two first levels. Now, before we go on to level number 3, which is middle school, please remember to always tip your dealer, and now you can with Super Chat, which, by the way, thank you again. Super Chat is a way YouTube allows you to show your appreciation by tipping me any amount you want. Go ahead, give it a try, or show your support by becoming a member of our Patreon page. We have several different levels and rewards for you to choose from. Any membership level counts, even $1, so please go join today. And again, if you have any questions or comments, put them in the chat, and I will answer all of your questions and say hi to you guys and talk to you guys at the end of the content. So let's move on. Next up is middle school. So with middle school, what you're going to be teaching your kid is percentages. So this one is pretty fun. Again, you are going to be using a deck of cards, but you're not going to be doing 2 through 10. You're going to be using all of them. Depending on what you teach your kid, you're going to have to separate out the deck of cards. So if you're doing percentages, let's say you're trying to teach them 50%. 50% is usually the easiest. 100%, yeah, but 50% is usually next up on the list. So when you do 50%, what you're going to do is you're going to separate the cards out into red cards and black cards. And this demonstrates to the kid 50%. 50% of the cards, this deck is red, 50% of this deck is black. And if you shuffle them together and do red, black, they could see the difference of what 50% is in actual, in real life, IRL. IRL just came up to my mind. So anyway, so 50% by dividing the deck into red or black. Another thing you could do with percentages is go to the next stage, which is 25%. And when you do 25%, you're going to be separating the cards into different suits. So you have 4 suits. Each one is 25%. So separate them into different categories, and you could demonstrate 25% using the different suits. And if you want to go further, and poker players use this concept a lot, you could actually go further and do what is the percentage of one card. So let's say, what if I get an ace? Well, the percentage of getting ace, since there are 4 suits and there's 13 cards in each suit, you have a 1 out of 13 chance of getting the ace, or 7.69%. So again, for middle school, cards are really good for teaching your middle schoolers percentages. Okay, so next up is high school. This is the next level. And for high school, what you're going to be teaching your high schoolers is probability. Now, with probability, you are going to be using a pair of dice. If you want more information about probability and what we're going to be talking about, check out the description, the link in the description below. I did a whole video on this, on probability, on dice, on coin flipping, on all of that. So if you want more of this information, check out the link that I have in the description below. So get yourself a pair of dice. If you don't have a pair of dice, again, link in the description, so that way you could buy some dice on Amazon. If you want to have fun and get jumbo dice, the link is in the description for that as well. Much easier to see. So with dice, just as with the coin flip, you're teaching your high schoolers probability. What is Let's say with a coin flip, what is the probability the coin is going to land on heads? It's 50%, 1 out of 2 times. What is the probability the dice is going to land on a 2? It's 1 out of 6 times, because there's 6 possibilities. So then we go into, well, what's the probability of, for 2 dice? Again, check out the link in the description below. I think I go 10 minutes into this whole subject, so lots of information. But you can use dice to teach your high schooler probability. What is the probability? Next, before we go on to the very last level of today's live stream, which is college, just a quick reminder, Vegas Aces is supported by viewers like you. Donations make it possible for us to bring you all of these videos for free. If you feel this video was worth more than $0, please donate the amount you feel it's worth by clicking the link in the description below. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'm going to be answering your questions at the end of the content. If you have any ways that you teach your kids math using gambling concepts, also put that in the comments, so that way we could share some different ways that I might not have talked about in this video. So let us go on to level number 5. Level number 5 is college. So what can you teach college kids? Well, you could teach them budgeting and bankroll. Budgeting and bankroll. They're 21 by now, so they can go gamble. Budgeting and bankroll is a great way to learn budgeting in your own life. Bankroll teaches them how much money they actually need to make money, and it scares people away from, gambling. So that's usually a good thing. I'm going to give you an example for gambling, for budgeting and bankroll. And if you want a link to this example, go ahead and you can find this link in the description below. This is from legitgamblingsites.com, this example. So Bob is going to go to the casino on his next trip and play for 6 hours each day for 4 days. He likes Baccarat and always bets on the banker. So the house edge for banker is 1.06%. If Bob bets $20 per hand, let's say Bob bets $20 per hand and he plays about 100 hands per hour. In order for Bob to play the entire time, he needs to take 4 times his expected loss to make sure he doesn't run out of any money. So you're going to be figuring out how much Bob will lose on average while playing in order to determine how much bankroll he needs to play. So the formula to determine his loss per hour on average is the house edge as a decimal times the amount wagered per hand times hands per hour. So 1.06% house edge, you would make that 0.0106, a $20 bet, so times $20. If you're doing $100, if you're doing 100 hands per hour, you're going to times that by 100. So that's 0.0106 times 20 times 100. So the amount, or the answer to that, is $21.20. This means that Bob, on average, is going to be losing $21.20 per hour. If he plans on playing for 6 hours per day for 4 days, then he's going to play for a total of 24 hours. 24 hours times $21.20 per hour is an average loss of $508.80. Because he needs to take 4 times as much to make sure he doesn't run out of money, the final number is $2,035.20. So again, this is a really excellent example for gambling cost. It's really good to point out the house edge for these equations and showing people how much money that they potentially will lose and how much money that they need in order to play. will usually cause several college students to swear off gambling because they can barely keep a roof over their head, especially right now. But again, it's a really good way to teach your college students budgeting and bankroll. If you want the link to the example that I gave you, go ahead and check out the description below where you could find the link. So we talked about the 5 levels. If you have any questions, go ahead, ask them. Speak now or forever hold your peace. If you have a way that you teach your kids math that we didn't talk about in this video, please put that in the comments as well. Now that we are at the end of the video, let's go to your comments. Let's talk to you guys. Let's say hi and see how you guys are doing. And thank you again very much for the super chats. Really do appreciate it. I am going to be taking a swig right after this. So thank you again. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I have super chat perks, and a $10 super chat means that I take a swig. So again, thank you. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, everyone. Scorned One's here. Joey's here. Hey, Anwar. Thank you. Sweet. Thomas says, we like to use dice and cards to play math games. Yeah, very, very good to use for math games and teaching your kids math. How many of you guys have kids that are learning at home right now? Don't mind my phone that I forgot to turn on silent, by the way. It'll stop eventually. Hate it when that happens. Live streams, woo! Okay, here's one. It's not gambling related, but kids can learn a lot about math using darts, especially the 2-3 times tables. Addition of the score plus subtraction of the total. Averages will use division and decimals. Very, very good point. So darts is also another great way to have fun with your kids and still teach them math. Very good point. I like those dice. Where can I get a pair? Well, Joey, as a matter of fact, they are on the way. So hopefully you will be getting your dice soon. If you guys like these jumbo dice and you want a pair for your home, I have a link in the description. So that way you could buy your own pair of jumbo dice. Oh, there we go. I wish I could use some bankroll education. If you check out, I think it was 2 videos ago, maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, I did an AMA with Mike Shackelford, the Wizard of Odds, on his channel, The Odds Must Be Crazy, where we actually go into depth about bankroll and bankroll education. So go check that video out, and I hope it helps. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you very much for the super chat, you guys. Really do appreciate it. I'm gonna be taking a couple drinks after this, and I will be giving Pip her treats. Thank you again. And it looks like none of you guys have any other questions or comments. Or I mean, you guys have plenty of comments. You don't have any other questions. I love seeing your comments. Well, if you guys are watching the replay, if you have any questions, if you need anything, go ahead and put them in the comments and I will reply. I will answer your questions. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helps. I hope you enjoy. And I hope to see you on our next live stream, which will be on Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That one is going to be a fun one. We are going to be doing casino stories with Jay, Casino Jay. So Casino Dealer Jay. Really looking forward to that. It's going to be a fun one. Hope to see you there. Thank you again. And if you have anything questions or if you think of anything later, put them in the comments and I'll answer you. Have a good day. Bye.